Dear students, this video discusses about directional couplers, a passive microwave device again used to transmit microwave signals. So directional coupler is a four-port device. So it is a four-port device where this part is known as primary waveguide and below part is known as secondary waveguide. So here ports 1 and 2 is primary waveguide and port 3 and 4 are secondary waveguide. So there is free transmission of power without reflection between ports 1 and 2 and there is no transmission of power between port 1 and 3. And port 2 and 4 also there is no transmission of power because no coupling exists between these two ports. Therefore, port 1 and 3 are not coupled to each other and similarly port 2 and 4 are not coupled to each other. So no power flows to port 3 when input power is fed to port 1 and similarly no power flows to port 4 when input power is fed to port 2. The characteristics of a directional coupler is expressed in terms of four parameters, that is coupling factor, directivity, isolation and return loss. So assume that the wave is propagating from port 1 to port 2 in the primary line. So coupling factor can be expressed as it is a ratio of power through port 1 to power through port 4. So it is a measure of the ratio of power levels in the primary and secondary lines. Here P1 is the power input to port 1 and P4 is the power output at port 4. So if the coupling factor is known, a fraction of power measured at port 4 may be used to determine the power input at port 1. Similarly, directivity is expressed as 10 log of P4 by P3. That is power fed to port 4, output power from port 4 and power from port 3, power output from port 3. Usually, directivity is a measure of how well the forward travelling wave in the primary waveguide couples only to a specific port in the secondary waveguide. So here directivity is usually for an ideal directional coupler will be infinite, but usually well designed directional couplers will have a directivity of only 30 to 35 dB. Also there is a parameter known as isolation. So it's a measure of how the ports are isolated. So it is the ratio of power fed to port 1 and output from port 3. And return loss is the ratio of incident power to the reflected power. So if you consider port 1, so incident power is P1 plus and reflected is P1 minus, means it can be written as ratio of 10 log of P1 plus by P1 minus. There are different types of directional couplers like 2-hole directional coupler, 4-hole directional coupler, reverse coupling directional coupler and Bethel directional coupler. So here we discuss about 2-hole directional coupler. So 2-hole directional coupler is shown in figure, which consists of a primary waveguide and a secondary waveguide. So the spacing between the centers of, so here there is a hole in between. So that hole, the spacing between the centers of two holes will be given by odd number multiplied with its wavelength, quarter guided wavelength. So L is written as equal to 2n plus 1 into lambda g by 4, where n is any positive integer. So this helps in reducing the reflections between the ports. So when a power is fed to port 1, when power is fed to port 1, so the power fed to port 1 travels, some of the power will travel directly to port 2. So this travels from port 1 through the primary waveguide into port 2. Now some of the power will be coming out through these holes. So some of the power will come out through this hole and some of the power will come out through this hole. So the distance of travel by both the waves are the same. So both of the waves will have same phase. So those get added up. So the waves traveling from port 1 will be traveling through this hole and also through this hole, and they are of the same phase. So these two waves get added up at port 4. But the waves coming through this hole and this hole, when it is considered, this wave is traveling double the distance compared to this wave. So that means the phase of the waves will be 180, will be out of phase. So they will get cancelled. So no power comes out of port 3. So that means when power is fed to port 1, most of the power comes out through port 2 and some of the power will come out through port 4, but no power comes out through port 3. So in order to find the scattering matrix of directional coupler, so directional coupler is a 4-port device. So as it is a 4-port device, the S matrix will be 4 by 4. As there is 4 ports, the S matrix can be written as 4 by 4. So the general S matrix can be written of dimension 4 by 4. So given by DC, where DC is the directional coupler, S11, S12, S13, S14, S21, S22, S23, S24, S31, S32, S33, S34, S41, S42, S43, S44. So let this be equation 1. 4-port device and microwave power is fed to port 1. So when power is fed to port 1, no power comes out of port 3. No power comes out of port 3. That is port 1 and 3 are isolated. So this can be written as microwave power fed into port 1 cannot come out of port 3 as it is isolated. So power fed into port 1 and power coming out of port 3 will be written as S13. So it can be written as S13, and as no power is coming out of port 3, so this can be equated to equal to 0. Similarly, when power is fed at port 2, so if you are feeding power at port 2, no power comes out of port 4. It can be written as an input power at port 2 cannot couple to port 4. S24 is equal to 0. 3 and 4 are perfectly matched to the junction. It can be written as S33 is equal to S44 is equal to 0. So when two of the ports are perfectly matched, then automatically the other two ports also will be perfectly matched. So we can write the remaining ports will be automatically matched to the junction. So perfectly matched to the junction, it can be written as S11 is equal to S22 is equal to 0. The property of S matrix can be applied. So applying symmetry property of S matrix, as per symmetry property, Sij is equal to Sji will be equal to S12, and similarly S31 and S13 will be equal to 0. Then S12 0, S23 0, then S33 will be equal to 0, then S32 will be equal to S23, then 0, S34. Next will be S14 0, S43 can be written as S34, and then again S44 will be equal to 0, S12, S31 is equal to S13, that will be equal to 0 as they both are isolated. Then S32 is equal to S23, then S41 is equal to S14, then S ports 2 and 4 are also isolated, so S42 is equal to S24 will be equal to 0, and S43 will be equal to S34. The property can be applied to the S matrix. So as per unitary property, product of S into its S conjugate is equal to an unitary matrix. 0 S23 0 0 S23 0 S34 S14 0 S34 0. So into its conjugate, so that will be equal to the unitary matrix. Now here matrix multiplication has to be used. So considering first row and first column, so that will be equal to S12 into S conjugate plus S14 into S14 conjugate. So it can be written as S12 square plus S14 square is equal to 1. Written as S12 square plus S23 square is equal to 1. So considering the next row, that is third row and third column, it can be written as S23 square plus S34 square will be equal to 1. Now consider first row and third column. S12 into S23 conjugate plus S14 into S34 conjugate equal to 0. Equation 7 and 8. So comparing the equations, we can see that the terms which are similar are S14 and S23. So it can be written as, so S12 square is there in both the terms. So the term which is different is S14 and S23. So as both comparing equation 8 and 9, similar way if equation 8 and 9 is compared, it can be seen that equation 8 is S12 square plus S23 square and equation 9 is S23 square plus S34. So S23 is common, so that means S12 and S34 should be the same. So it can be written as S23 is equal to S34. Now let us consider S12 to be real and positive number and let it be equal to P. So therefore we can write as S12 and S34 are equal, it can be written as S34 is equal to P will be equal to, it is also equal to, as it is real number, its conjugate will also be equal. So can be written as S34 conjugate will be equal to S12. That is, if you consider P is equal to 1, as it is a real number, P conjugate also will be equal to 1 itself. So we can substitute S34 is equal to P is equal to S34 conjugate. And that will be equal to S12. Now using equations 11 and 13 in 10, it can be written as, so equation 11 is S14 is equal to S23 and equation 13 is S34 is equal to S12. So substituting it in equation 10, so this can be written as S12 into S23 conjugate plus, instead of S14 it can be substituted as S23 into S34 conjugate can be substituted as, written as S12. So this can be written as S12 into S23 plus S23 conjugate is equal to 0. So when we are feeding power at port 1, some power surely comes out of port 2. That means S12 cannot be equal to 0. So the only term that can be equal to 0 is S23 plus S23 conjugate is the only term that can be equal to. So substituting S23 plus S23 conjugate is equal to 0. So that means that if a number plus its conjugate has to be equal to 0, that means it has to be purely imaginary. Suppose for example consider 1 plus j1, so its conjugate will be 1 minus j1. So adding both of them, it will not be equal to 0. So only if it is purely imaginary, that is, suppose you consider purely imaginary. If you consider j1 minus j1, so j1 is purely imaginary and its conjugate is minus j1. So if you consider the number j1 plus its conjugate minus j1, so it will be equal to 0. So we have to consider equation 14 to be purely imaginary. So this can be written as S23 is equal to J into Q equal to S14. So the final S matrix can be written as P0, JQ, P0, JQ, 0, 0 JQ, 0 P, JQ, 0 P, 0. From equation 7, substituting in equation 7 corresponds to S12 square plus S14 square is equal to 1. So already S12 is equal to P and S14 is equal to JQ. So it can be written as P square plus Q square is equal to 1. Here P is the transmission factor and Q is the coupling factor.